Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, Morale Boosters. Welcome to the Morale Booster Podcast. I am Dr. John Ugulu, your host. If this is your first time listening to the Morale Booster Podcast, you are very welcome. Please like, leave a comment, and share this broadcast because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message we will be sharing today. Before we get started, I want to remind you that if you feel blessed or inspired, or if you've ever been impacted one way or the other through this podcast, feel free to support the work we do here by making a donation to the John Uhulu Foundation. This foundation is committed to providing coaching and mentoring services to many. So if you'd like to contribute and make a difference today, head over to our website, www.johnuhulu.com, www.johnuhulu.com, or you can click in the link below to access it. Today, we are thrilled to welcome our special guest all the way from the United Kingdom. Her name is Hana Esselink. She is a member of our community, and we're proud to have her. Hana is an intuitive soul mentor, a clairvoyant reader, a professional, a PR professional, and she is an author. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please join me as I welcome this amazing guest of the Morale Booster community, Hana. So, Hana, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this program.
Thank you. Really nice to be here again, John. We've done a couple of interviews, so this is the third, I think. It's lovely to be back. How are you?
Absolutely. Yes, I am well. Thank you. And good to see you again virtually. And I'm proud of what you do. Happy that you dedicate your life towards, to helping people become better versions of themselves. Now, uh,
Definitely.
how has your journey as an intuitive soul mentor and a clairvoyant reader shaped your personal growth and the way you approach challenges in life?
So, as an intuitive soul mentor, let me just explain what that is, first of all, in case people don't know what that is. It's basically, I've always been clairvoyant, which means I have that sixth sense away from the five senses of taste, smell, hearing, touching, etc. So I have that sixth sense, which energetically means that I can connect to other people quite quickly and give them a really good reading, a psychic reading into any area of life that they wish to look at, which is normally finance or relationships is a massive one as well. And some people come with really heartbreaking stories. So for me, my personal growth over this period of time, it's been at least 20 years or 15 years over this particular time, has been an interesting one, a little bit jumpy, a little bit up and down, but one where it's really been satisfying to serve and help other people grow, watch them grow, and know that I can relate to some of the pains and challenges that people go through because I've been there before. And as an intuitive mentor, I do as an empath as well. I feel a lot of things on quite a deep level. Sometimes I have to find that I need to break away and get my own space to clear off some of that energy because it's quite heartbreaking, some of the stuff that people go through. It's helped me learn a lot. It's helped me to understand um, lots of people's personalities. And from a psychological point of view, you grow a lot, because I mean, honestly, John, truth is stranger than fiction. I'm definitely going to say that. And you get to hear some really wacky, wild stories, but they are true. And of course, I'm confidentially bound, so I can't say what all of them are here. There's a couple of people who have given me permission today, though, to do that. So I can share a couple of stories which I think people might be able to relate to. But it's always a journey. I think it was Nelson Mandela who said that once you climb one mountain, you think that's it, but there's another. And this is very similar to that. It's the journey of life that I think a lot of people are probably going through right now. So I would say the way it's helped me approach challenges is that I've realized I'm not the only one going through this, that a lot of people are going through a lot of worse things. So it's helped me to grow so that I can help them in whatever way I need to. And I get a lot of spiritual guidance. I pray a lot. I have my guides who I work with, and I'm very close to Jesus Christ. I work a lot with that energy. And um, I think prayer is the key to really unlock a lot of doors. And maybe I don't mean that in the sense that you necessarily have to go to church or go to a temple, but prayer is a private thing between you and God that guides you. They guide you where you need to go and where you need to be. So it's a guiding process. It's like being a light. In fact, I'm known as the inner light igniter, because that's what I try to do to people, is to ignite their inner passion, their inner fire, and their purpose again, basically.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for sharing. And basically, what you do is highly essential for people who are going through different challenges that they still cannot figure out what the root cause of that problem is. Now, do you have any story you would like to share with us on maybe a client of yours that has come to you, and a client that you have helped to, realign with who they truly are?
Yeah, there's quite a few stories I can tell you. I'm with who they are, that's an ongoing process. So I'm not sure it's aligned them with completely with who they are. Although some people have come back and said, "This is amazing, thank you." But that is knowing who you are. That's a massive question, John. And that takes quite a while to get to who you really are, because who you were at 20 might not be who you are at 30 and or at 40 or at 50, right? You change, and hopefully you evolve. Yesterday, I had a client come to me who a lady, and she said she was extremely worried about her husband because he's lost his job, and she wanted me to have a look to see if there was something wrong, because she felt that there was. And when we did the reading, I could see that he had been, I'm going to say, blocked energetically by a woman. And I said, "Look, has there been any arguments or disagreements with somebody at work?" And it turned out that there was a massive disagreement with somebody at work who was a lady. But since that time, 4 years ago, he's not been able to find a job. So it's really essential that he needs to find who he is now. He's 63, right? So we went through quite a lot of different things. Her husband didn't want to do the reading because he didn't believe in it, and that's fine. There's plenty of skeptics out there. But she took away a lot of information to help him. And I told her specific prayers and practices to do that would help to unravel the fact that he was definitely, something had happened energetically to block him on his path. So hence stop him fulfilling who he is. He's a very high up manager anyway in a bank. So it was difficult for him to recognize he didn't have a job for 4 years. It went to a state of depression. And that leads to knowing who we not are coming into place, if you know what I mean. You suddenly, like, you've got no money, you're broke, and you're in a different place from where you were 4 years ago. But that's the crucial thing, is identifying that who we are in our career may not be who we are in our calling. So it's essential to understand, as I said, who you were 4 years ago, is that who you are today? Or is it a different thing that's calling out to you? So let's see what happened. We do need to unblock that challenge with that woman. And energetically, she'd not wish him well. I don't know if it was evil eye or even something like black magic. It was dark. And we had to look at that and try to break through from that. So I gave her the things to do. And she's going to call me back and let me know in a couple of weeks. So that's something that actually happened yesterday. So it's a journey. It's a journey for a lot of people. A lot of people are finding it quite tough right now with those challenges going on.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. And to everybody who's listening right now, I am a person of faith, and I believe that God has blessed every one of us with different gifts. And what we should be focusing more on are things that can help people become better versions of themselves, helping people see the goodness of God in their lives, helping people understand that God is the ultimate, helping people understand that through God, the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, that their problems can be solved. But sometimes some people lack the patience and the clarity to see that the ways of God are not the ways of man. But if we look at what Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10 to 11 says in the Bible, it says, let no one be found among you who co-signs a son or daughter to the fire, or who is in awe, or who is a diviner or a sorcerer, or one who casts spells, or one who consults with ghosts or familiar spirits, or one who inquires of the dead. Like the Bible makes you understand that you have the power to consult with God. You have the power to pray and seek God's guidance. But in a situation whereby the impatience is not there, you can seek counseling from those who have more clarity than you. So I want to encourage everybody who's listening right now. If you have anything that is bothering you, the first step I would recommend is go and see, seek help from either your pastors, your parents, elders, counselors. Seek help. Or whatever help you seek, make sure it aligns with what God wants for you. Because sometimes you might be complicating issues. You might get into places that you shouldn't have been. So thank you so much for sharing that. And like that woman whose husband lost the job, I'm glad you were able to help them understand what they need to do, to gain more clarity on how to take their life to the next level. All right. So, what practices or mindset shifts do you recommend for individuals looking to strengthen their intuition and align more closely with their life's purposes?
So, if someone's depressed, it's quite difficult to tell them just do this, just do that. But because they don't see the door that's open and they don't have the right key to turn the door. So, in that instance, I would definitely say consult a spiritual person like myself, or if you want to go to your pastor, you have a good relationship with that person, or your leader in your community, do that. That's important. But I would definitely say to have that shift, the first thing I would do, and which I have found always very helpful because I'm a person of faith, is prayer. Because my prayer is never a needy one. It's a thank you, first of all, that I'm here. I might not be exactly where I want to be in my life, but I'm grateful that I'm here. And that gratitude in itself, and that, I have a house, I have a husband, I have two cats, is really kind of opens the door to a bigger place in your heart. And really a mindset shift has to come from your heart and you and your mind recognizing that there is a different paradigm to what you're facing at the moment. There is another way. There is another way that you can go. Often that doesn't come straight away, especially if you're depressed or if you're low, and we've all been there. We just can't see through, we can't see through what it is that we need. But if you talk to someone, if you start the road up with prayer and you ask for guidance, and you will be guided to the right person, the right situation, you just keep at it. Be stubborn with it. Really stick to your routine. And I'm assuming everybody in here likes to pray, or they want to pray, or maybe people are praying and they don't have any faith. So that's why I'm saying in the first instance, it will also maybe be good to get that support in place from someone you can trust, who can give you further guidance. it's not easy having a mindset shift all the time, John. Sometimes it takes some people a long time. If this gentleman hadn't, if his wife hadn't come to me to get answers for him, but he's not in a place to do that himself. Do you see what I mean? He has sunk deeper and deeper because he lost his really great money making job, and he can't see through that right now. And so you have to catch yourself before you get to that point and break that cycle. Do something that's really good for you as well, like exercising. That really helps to break that off. Or you can do a journal. It's hard to journal though, again, when your feelings are so, you might need something to break that first. So ask God to show you what you need to know right now, even the little pinprick of light, so that you can go to that light. There is a light at the end of that tunnel. It's often very hard. I'll tell you another story, John. This happened as well this week. Everything's been happening this week. It was a lady who I've known, who's a client of mine. She's an older lady. She lives in Shropshire, and she can't walk since her husband died. The grief somehow paralyzed her legs. Right, she can't walk, and she's been getting operations and things for her feet. Now she had something attack her for 6 weeks since after Christmas, and something said to me, contact Karen. She won't mind me using her name because she said I could use this as a case study. And it basically came to her at night where she was having terrible dreams of her husband being unfaithful to her, even though he's passed away. And so something was taunting her, and every time she said Jesus, because she's a Christian, it said something evil. And so she said she was so frightened that she couldn't even reach out to me for 6 weeks, and she was experiencing these nightmares and things. And finally she remembered what I told her, which was to take salt baths, which help to lessen negative stuff, and also to do the Lord's Prayer. And she's a Catholic Christian, so she's got a Mother Mary that I got her from Fatima in Portugal. She was praying and praying, and something broke through, and finally this thing went. After 6 weeks of tormenting her, she said it was terrible. She's never been in such a dark place, but the prayer broke it through. Do you see what I'm saying? She just kept on and on, even though she said she didn't want to pray. Something was stopping her praying. So this is something deeper than depression. Sometimes there are energies behind energies that influence things. And I would say to everybody, be your own Sherlock Holmes. See what it is in your mindset that needs to. Mindset can go very deep. The mind has many chambers. See where you need to find that path that's right for you. It could be, it's a journey, right? But can you imagine when you get there and you look back and you think, boy, I've come from such a long way, and I'm now feeling like I'm in a good place and I'm ready to not just help myself, but be of service to other people.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. You talked about so many very powerful points, and I really do appreciate them. Yeah, just an FYI, not everybody on my platform prays. That's why we have the platform. That's why we have the platform to help people discover who they are,
Love
to
that.
help people understand that they can be better, to help people understand that they are not by themselves, to help them understand that the help that they need can be found within the community. So yeah, not everybody prays, and if
Yeah.
everybody
No, but
prays,
that's good because people pray in different ways as well.
yeah,
Some people
yeah,
are really religious about it, and some people it's kind of an inward calling. Like,
mm,
I need some sort of divine intervention here, right?
yes,
So, but if
I
you
know
can't start with
people,
that, go
yeah, I
to
know
someone in the
people on this
community.
platform who don't even know, they've never been to church. They don't even know anything about Jesus Christ. They don't even know anything about,
But John, I never
um,
go to church. I can't stand the church. Sorry.
you know,
It's not for me. I'm a bit of a radical in that sense, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it hasn't served me. So you don't have to go to church, guys, but everybody has that inner yearning. People can feel so lonely and trapped inside themselves. Don't feel that way. Go and talk to someone you can trust, but you can always trust yourself. And another thing is, John, I do believe our ancestors are with us a lot. Karen told me that as well. And I've done a course on that. So you can ask for help and you can ask for intervention. And absolutely, if you're asking sincerely, you will get it. You'll find the way.
yes, I agree with you on that. Not everybody who goes to the church is doing the right thing. The church is a building. You know, having a personal connection is what matters. Having a personal connection with your creator, with why you're on earth, with who you are, what you were sent into this world to do. That's the most important thing. Just being in the four walls of the church, having someone with a robe pray, that's not all that life is all about. In this community, we have people from all faiths and backgrounds from all over the world. We have people from all over the world in this community. We have people who are doing exceedingly well at what they do. They're very highly successful in this community. They're not religious people. They're not, they don't believe in anything.
Academic.
They just wake up every day, go about their lives. And when you talk about religion related things, they don't even have an idea. They don't even want to talk about it because it's not part of their daily task. It's not even taking them closer to where they want to be.
But I'm not
So
religious, John. I'm actually much more spiritual, and I can't stand that dogma. I
yes.
got turned away from 3 churches for going in there and saying that I did readings, and they were like, "Oh, you're inviting in the devil." I said, "No, I actually help people with that." So it's it it's sad because if you read something told me this week to read the book of John, right, in the Bible, and I started to read the book of John, and it's Jesus being very personal. I am the way, the truth, the life. But if you read that, you'll see that take it away from the church and read it for as what it is. He was a radical, and he was like, getting stoned, and the Pharisees are saying, how dare you say that? You are not who you say you are, and all this stuff. And if you really think about that actually happening and you see that for what it is, you build a relationship with the real Christ, if that's indeed what you want to do, or you follow another path. I mean, I have people coming to me who have many different faiths: Hindus, Sikhs. Some people have no faith. Some people have lots of faith. Some people are just so down on themselves they don't even believe in themselves, and that's a very tough one to help with. So you have to be loving and kind to everybody and supportive as much as you can be, knowing that some people are going to go away and they're never going to do what you ask them to do. And they're going to come back in 6 months and say, I'm still stuck, because they've got to find that space in themselves that helps them to move forward, And some people, like I said before, they're so stuck. They don't see the key that they need to open the door. And that's where they need maybe some professional help as well to get them onto that path, right?
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. That resonates with me. And that's why we all need coaches. We all need counselors, mentors that can help us, you know, get to that level where we truly want to be. Because we are all sent into this world for different reasons. All right. My purpose is different from your purpose. Your purpose is different but God has blessed us with a platform where we have people from all walks of life. And our goal is to make sure we help them understand that they can become better versions of themselves. So, thank you so much for having that conversation with me. I know you are an author, right?
Mm.
So, as an author, what inspired you to share your message through writing, and how has the process of writing influenced your own self discovery and development?
Mm. Yeah, so as an author, I've written a novel called The Vanishing Cafe, which is on Amazon if anyone's interested to have a chilled out read. I'm halfway through writing another novel with my coach, who's actually in Idaho. And I guess the most important thing is the process of writing. It's it does help you to discover who you are, because it's a work of art. Writing a novel, for example, it is something that is many layers to it, and you have to have consistency, you have to have discipline, and you also have to have, it's quite exciting watching the characters develop as the story comes along. It's quite exciting having a hook at the end of every story. It's quite exciting knowing that your book can change lives, and also you want to have the message in there that's going to resonate with a lot of people. I'm not writing 100 Years of Solitude, but I am writing a book that I'm very proud of, and I'm actually quite proud of the Vanishing Cafe, the one that I've already done, even though it's just a story about a man who lost his wife, and it's about grief. But it's also the narrator's lost her grandmother, so she's looking for more meaning. Is there something else after we pass away? Is there life after death? Where can I find that? And she comes across this cafe with all these quirky people, and they help her on that sort of soul journey. And that's what this is all about. All of this stuff we're talking, John, it's all the soul's journey, isn't it, really?
It is Soul's Journey. That's it. Thank you so much for sharing. The Vanishing Cafe. It's you say it's available on Amazon, right?
It's on Amazon. We haven't done a lot for it. There's a Facebook page. I'd love to get it picked up by somebody who could put it on the theatre. I can see it as a play. I can see that happening. It will be perfect as a play. It's a nice little magical realism touch to the story as well, because the cafe transforms into this sort of little Buddhist temple, and it's to highlight what's going on with all of the characters, and especially the narrator. And it's her journey of, I love my grandmother so much. What happened to my grandmother? Where did she go? Is she still alive on some other dimension? That kind of thing. It's ancestors and all that kind of stuff. But it's also a search for God. It's a search for more meaning.
Oh, that's great. And that's one thing we would all do till the end of time. We will keep learning, we will keep trying to discover, we'll keep trying to figure out what life holds for us and what we can do to the best of our abilities to positively impact mankind. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing. This my last question to you is um, I want you to see this from an angle of inspiring somebody who's out there. Now, what's one transformative experience, whether from a client session or your personal life, that deeply impacted you and redefined your approach to mentorship and personal growth? Most people are still on that journey of self discovery. So, what was that transformative experience?
So that transformative experience was um, when I lost a very dear friend who was an artist. He was an older gentleman called Alan Osborne, and he was unfortunately a recovered alcoholic. It was a few years. This was maybe 2012. It happened, I think. And I was working in public relations, and every day we would talk because I was doing communications for him. I was helping him with his art exhibition, and we would talk in the morning, and we would just say hi, how are you doing, and what do I need to do for the day before I went to work. And then one day I called him. He was living with his parents. I mean, he was an older gentleman, so they were even older, but they just said he was sick. And by the time I called him at lunchtime, he'd passed away. And we'd had a successful exhibition on the BBC. The BBC came to film it, and um, it was great. It was in Marylebone at the Hellenic Centre, and then there was another one which is about India, and we'd done that. And he was basically about to go on a trip to India to work with academics in Mumbai, and I'd been invited to go along. And we were ready to go. 4 days before he was due to go, he passed suddenly, and that really impacted me. I had to leave that job for about 4 days. They were very kind to me, and get my head around that, get all over what's going on here. And that made me realize, because that was when I started to do my readings and everything. I was really that kind of was the kick up the backside that I needed, if I can say that, John, because it woke me up to the fact that none of us are eternal. We can go at any moment, and you have to be rooted in the present moment. What is my purpose? And I decided my purpose was helping people with the readings, helping people with being of service to others, developing that gift, and really getting into what I need to do, because life is short. And we had all these plans. I was going to go to India with him, and it never happened. And I still think about that. And it still is like a punch sometimes, because he was a dear, dear friend. We got very close, and it was sad that it happened that way. Yeah.
They say man proposes and God disposes. We always like to encourage people to always learn to use their challenges to discover who they are. Because it is from your challenges, it is from your life experience that you get to know more about yourself, you get to know more about life, and you get to know more about your mission here on earth. So, thank you so much for sharing that. And if I have the opportunity, I will be here interviewing you the whole day. But time
That'd be interesting.
time does not do justice to anybody. So thank you so much for joining me, and I believe that you would have been able to inspire somebody out there to let them know that it is possible for them to believe in themselves, to help let them know that it is possible for them to get help no matter what their situations are. There's always somebody out there to help you. So if there's anybody out there who you know uh feels that Anna's message has resonated with you and you would like to get to know her better, please, you can contact her with the information that is currently being displayed in the show notes. Her information is right there, her Instagram, her LinkedIn, and her website. It's right there for you. Anna, can is your website still yourinnerlight.co.uk?
That is my website. Please check it out. And I'll be looking forward to hearing from some of you. It'd be amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure and a privilege having you here again. And well, I
Until
think
next time, John. We've got a few more
yes,
books, haven't we?
yes, yes,
So
yes. So
yeah, it'd be
how
great.
soon do you think your next book will be available?
The next book, oh gosh, I've been pushing it back and pushing it back because I had a couple of health challenges over the last couple of months. But we're nearly at the end. I think it's on chapter 16. We have about another three to do, and she's an amazing coach. She's worked in publishing, so I think possibly around May, June, we'll be ready to take it to publishing houses and things.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you. God will be your strength. All right, keep doing what you do. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Um, I always say whatever has a beginning surely does have an end. So we are excited to share some amazing ways for you to stay connected with our mission and continue to grow together. Your support and engagement means the world to us. So if you want to support the John Ugulu Foundation, you can go to our website www.johnuhulu.com or click the link in the show notes below. If you also want to purchase copies of our inspirational books or listen to the most recent podcast episodes, you can also visit the website johnuhulu.com and go to resources. You would find all the links. Lastly, you can also be part of our growing community, which is the Morale Booster Empire, where we support and inspire each other every day. So if you subscribe today for $10 monthly, you can enjoy the chance of being a repeat guest on the Morale Booster podcast, giving you the opportunity to be nominated for the Morale Booster Awards. And also, if you live within the United States, you will have the opportunity to be nominated for the President's Lifetime Achievement Award by using your platform to serve people, by using your services to serve this community. So, thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Together, we can continue to make a lasting impact and spread positivity in all we do. God bless you all. Stay blessed and remember to always do good things. Bye for now.